Okay, 98.1% of people don't work in the mining industry, and that's Australia-wide. Now, obviously, more people, a larger percentage of people here in Western Australia work in mining. What percentage of West Australians do you think work in mining?
About 5%.
No, directly.
5%?
Yeah, about 88,000 people, about 6 or 7%. Now, I see the AMWUs here. Thanks for coming along. According to the ABS, according to the ABS, the manufacturing industry employs more West Australians than the mining industry. You know how manufacturing is a basket case and no one works there anymore, Australia doesn't make anything? Well, there are more people in the manufacturing industry today in Western Australia, let alone Victoria and New South Wales, than in the mining industry. We'll come back to why the AMWU isn't running ads on telly telling you about this later, but let's just say making $40 billion a year in profit for BHP helps to fund a bit of advertising. Now, the mining industry is prone to saying, of course, yes, 200,000, Richard's right, that's what the ABS says, but what about the indirect job creation? We create jobs in manufacturing, we create jobs in construction, we create jobs when all the mining workers fly into Perth and go to the shops and go to cafe. This is true, this is called indirect job creation. Now, the couple of things that you need to understand about that. The argument by the mining industry is basically, well, look, you know, when mining industry workers get paid, they go buy things, this creates jobs in other industries, and we need to measure that. Yeah, fair enough. Talk about how you do that in a second. The implication, however, is that manufacturing workers, or see the CPSU at the back? Yeah, public servants. See, what happens with public servants is that when they get paid, they take the money and they bury it in tins in the backyard. There's no indirect job creation when manufacturing workers get paid. There is no indirect job creation when the manufacturing workers get paid. It's only the mining industry who pay a lot of economists to go and tell everybody about their indirect job creation. All right, I'm here to let you in on a little secret. It's not just the mining industry that creates upstream and downstream jobs. But what the mining industry really hates, and they're not very good at defending themselves, which is nice. They haven't had to defend themselves because they've just got away with this nonsense for so long. But if you want to exaggerate your size, if you want to say, well, sure, I only employ 200,000 people, but what about all the indirect jobs I create? Then it follows that you would have to take responsibility for all the indirect jobs you destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay? I think this is unarguable. Mitch Hook disagrees with me, but that's okay. If you want to claim credit for the spillover benefits, then you have to take responsibility for the spillover costs. Now, the Australian exchange rate is high because we're in the middle of a mining boom. Well, that high exchange rate makes it hard for the manufacturing industry, it makes it hard for the tourism industry, it makes it hard for the education industry, it makes it hard for the agriculture industry. The high exchange rate means that a whole bunch of other sectors of the economy are actually employing fewer people. So if the mining industry wants to take credit for indirect job creation, it follows that it should take responsibility for indirect job destruction. Okay, but funnily enough, the ads on television, do you get them over here? Because in Canberra we're swamped in, so I assume you must get them as well. But, you know, Kellogg's puts an ad on television and assures you that sugary breakfast cereal will make you fit and healthy. Okay, that's okay. That's called advertising, and no one really expects balanced nutritional advice from an ad. You know where I'm heading, don't you? The mining industry puts an ad on television saying, we're your saviour, we're your backbone, without us you're nothing. And people go, oh yeah, fair point. Why would I subject that to any critical evaluation? So, the mining industry employs 200,000 people, which is nice. That's less than the number of people employed in the recreation and arts industry. Okay? It's a quarter of the number of people employed in the manufacturing industry. It's a fifth of the number of people employed in the health sector. The mining industry is not a big employer, full stop. The mining industry doesn't create many indirect jobs, full stop. These are facts. Okay? This is just true. Alright? It's not quite what they say. And I'm not saying that there is no indirect job creation from the mining industry. There is. There obviously is. It's just not very big. The only thing big about the mining industry is the enormous profits. Because, here's the thing, why do you think the profits are so high? Well, because they don't have to employ many people. Okay,
there's not much competition in the mining industry.
There's no competition. I mean, this is the thing with mining. That if basically what a mine is a local monopoly over a particular resource. It's a mine. It's mine. Okay, it's a mine. Now, I'm sure that's the etymology of the word. So, it's being recorded, probably regretted that. Now, I grew up in Newcastle, the Hunter Valley, north of Sydney. Now, Newcastle's the biggest coal port in the world. Now, if you drive down Hunter Street of Newcastle, you'd swear you're in, a war zone. Every second building is empty. There's graffiti all over the buildings. Bits of Newcastle doing really well, but Newcastle itself does not look, feel, or statistically appear to be a rich community. It's the richest, sitting on the richest deposit of coal in the world. It's sitting, exporting more of it than anyone else in the world. And the reason that those two things can happen simultaneously is because the people of Newcastle don't own the coal. Now, if I was a Saudi Arabian and the price of oil goes up, everyone knows the Saudis get rich. Why do the Saudis get rich when the world price of oil goes up? Because they think the oil is theirs. And sure, they might employ a mining company to come and do what they think of as plumbing, because they don't want to get the roads dirty. Okay, so Exxon or Mobil, all those people, they're very welcome to come and dig a hole and take the Saudis' oil out for the Saudis so that the Saudis can sell the Saudis' oil. And it's really nice that the oil company came to do the plumbing. But when the world price of oil goes up, the Saudis think they're getting rich. But when the world price of coal goes up, that'll be my mum, when the world price of coal goes up, or the world price of iron ore goes up, or the world price of gold goes up, we don't think, hooray, we're about to get rich. Because we've actually convinced ourselves that the mining companies are doing us a favour. And the favour is they'll create jobs for us. Isn't that nice? They're actually willing to employ us to help do the dangerous part of transferring our resources to their bank accounts.
And their shareholders.
And their shareholders. Now, so my point is, and look, mining companies need to be paid or they won't dig a hole. The Saudis know this. But the Saudis don't for a minute think that people who never purchased the oil or people who never purchased the coal should enjoy 100% of the capital gain when the world price goes through the roof. So we have such a, I hate to say it, we have such a colonised worldview that we actually think that the mining companies are doing us a favour when they extract our resources for us.
And no one sells that better than, or more than Andy Forrest.
Well, no one sells that better than our elected governments, who thank them for coming and who offer them tax concessions if they wouldn't mind terribly coming. So we generally have, it has not occurred to us that these are our resources that are incredibly valuable. We only get to sell them once, and every dollar that we don't tax the enormous profits is a dollar that we'll never ever get back. Now, I don't want to speak for too much longer, so